Under Commander Appo and another clone trooper commander, the 501st troops were transported to Coruscant in several Venator-class Star Destroyers that stayed over the city throughout the operation. Marching silently to the gates of the temple with the clones, Darth Vader was met by Jedi Master Jurok, whom Vader asked about the whereabouts of the temple's current commander, Jedi Master Shaak Ti. After Jurok told him that she was meditating in the temple, Vader killed the Gate Master and led the clones inside. After entering the temple, Vader then demanded that one Jedi draw a lightsaber and become one with the Force, claiming that the Order's plot to overthrow Chancellor Palpatine had failed, to the Jedi's confusion. Vader killed the Jedi, then proceeded to stalk through the halls. He eliminated any Jedi he encountered, while destroying any marksman-age combat remotes he met that were guarding the Jedi Temple. Among the 501st during the operation were elite clone paratroopers. As the 501st dispersed throughout the Temple's vaulted halls at Appo's direction, Vader took a small group of clones to capture the communications center via the Jedi Archives. There, a Jedi Knight named Shaq Kun, wary from researching and tracking a Sith the Jedi suspected of manipulating the war, awoke to smoke and a battle raging in the temple. Though surprised at clones in the halls surrounding the archive, she felt their intent through the Force, and blindly fled deep into the temple. Upon approaching the library, one of the clone units reported in. It informed Vader that they were on their way to regroup with him. Vader then engaged two Jedi who created a Force barrier around each other, ensuring Vader could not kill them as he attacked them. However, Vader held them off long enough that the clone unit arrived, killing them. Vader then ordered the commander to take his troops and destroy their ships to ensure none escaped. Vader entered the temple's library with another contingent of clones and told Jocasta Nu to grant him access to the communication room under the Supreme Chancellor's orders. When she ignited her lightsaber to confront the Sith, citing that only the Jedi Council could access it. In retaliation, Vader used the Force to impale her with his own lightsaber, killing her. After the clones had confirmed that all escaping ships had been destroyed, Vader posted clones at all exits to ensure that no Jedi could leave, to enter, or aid the temple forces. Vader rooted out any remaining Jedi that were hidden in the temple, while the troops placed themselves. Shaq Kun sensed Nu's death through the Force. In tandem, she also identified Anakin as the perpetrator of this massacre, and realized that he had turned from the light to become a Sith Lord. This heightened her will to survive, which she did by utilizing the same passageways Race did to escape, having learned of them from him earlier. The clones charged into the temple foyer to meet with heavy resistance from the Jedi and temple security force personnel, eventually clearing the High Council chamber of resistance. They were then ordered to pacify the library and defend holobook shelves from Jedi who were trying to destroy them with a content download that could be performed to capture the confidential Jedi information and Sith secrets. After that information was taken, the clones fought to acquire a holocron dealing Sith and Jedi knowledge from the archives, delivering the device to an awaiting low-altitude assault transport for carriage away from the battle. On Vader's front, a Zabrak Jedi activated a ray shield defense system and hid in a shield-protected room during the carnage. Once Vader had disabled the shields and killed the alien, he and a group of clones were ambushed by a band of Jedi snipers in a hall. At a clone's suggestion, Vader toppled a large statue to crush the warriors and use a chunk to break his way into the study hall, where his party eliminated several Jedi students and a number of Jedi brutes. When Jedi interceptors were launched in an attempt to cut down the clone force, Vader commandeered an anti-aircraft gun to shoot them down, making his way to the communications center at the summit of the High Council Tower. Once he had finished off the last ship, he altered a broadcast beacon, ordering all Jedi to return to the Jedi Temple on the High Council's authority. Sin Drelig's former apprentice, Sarah Keto, confronted Vader and engaged him in a duel. Jumping on a balcony that overlooked a training veranda in the Tower of First Knowledge, she tried to strike Vader, but Vader moved away and she cut into a pillar, enabling Vader to topple it, using it to crush her. As the remaining Jedi Masters realized the temple was lost, they began to send knights and Padawans out through the temple precinct. Vader made his way to the base of the temple, where he found Dreylig guarding a group of fleeing younglings. He had been instructed in lightsaber combat in the Room of 1,000 Fountains. After murdering 2 of Dreylig's trainees, Bane and Wee Malaru, the Sith entered a duel with Dreylig alongside his remaining Padawan. After some time dueling, Dreylig ordered the Padawan to retreat, beginning a duel to Vader personally. Vader mortally wounded Dreylig by slashing the Battlemaster from shoulder to torso. The squad of clones accompanying Vader then blasted at the other Padawans that Dreylig was protecting, killing most of them. A Zabrak Jedi had also been assigned to protect a group of younglings. He was caught by Vader, and after a brief duel was struck down. Meanwhile, the 501st Legion secured all 4 Jedi Council chambers and fought the Temple security force in the main hall. Vader then returned from his duel with Sindralig and killed a Jedi alongside his troops, collecting his holocron. As they focused the brunt of their attack on the hall, 3 Jedi Masters, who had taken somewhat of a military command over the remaining Jedi, led the last of the Jedi to the main hall in a final attempt to repel the 501st. The Jedi came out in a sudden charge against Vader and the clones, but despite their assault, the 3 were eventually killed, along with their allies, by the insurgents. Vader ascended the High Council Tower to search the Council Chamber for more survivors, and it was there that he found an entire clan of younglings. A young boy, Sors Bandim, approached Vader from where there were other younglings, including Shia Latap and Jesui El, had hidden themselves. Vader altered a broadcast beacon ordering all Jedi to return to the Jedi Temple because the war was over, leading any who heeded the call to their death at the hands of the clones. As the Sith Lord marched upon the temple steps, a Jedi Temple guard recognized him as his former identity, Anakin Skywalker, and said Skywalker under his breath before being cut down by Vader. Vader went to search the council chamber for more survivors, and it was there that he found a large group of younglings. A young boy approached Vader from where the other younglings had hidden themselves. The boy, not realizing that Anakin had become Vader and defected to the Sith, asked him what the Jedi were going to do, and in response, Vader reignited his lightsaber and proceeded to execute the entire group. The fierce fighting sparked a blaze which soon engulfed the entire temple, attracting the attention of hundreds of beings who watched in horror as the ancient temple burned. Witnessing the smoke and flames grow from the temple and realizing it was under siege from thousands of clones, Bail Organa, the senator from Alderaan and a Jedi sympathizer, landed on the landing platform of one of the tower hangars to investigate the fire. After being turned away by the clones guarding the hangar, the retreating senator witnessed Zet Zu Kasa, a young Padawan, cutting his way through a group in an attempt to escape the massacre. Although Jukasa succeeded in killing several clones, he was soon overwhelmed and shot in front of the horrified senator. The clones started to fire on Organa until a trooper ordered them to stand down, telling the others not to worry about him. Elsewhere in the temple, Vader personally murdered Shakti by stabbing her through the back during her meditation. At one point during the siege, the Force-sensitive Jedi Grogu saw 4 Jedi killed while trying to protect him. The Jedi sent Grogu to an elevator to meet Jedi Master Kelleran Beck before the clone troopers could reach him. Beck and Grogu were ambushed by clone troopers, to which Beck deflected the blaster fire, and they soon fled from the temple on a speeder. In their escape from Coruscant, Beck and Grogu sped through the skies of the city to reach a waiting H-type Nubian yacht, while chased by low-altitude assault transports. After a small grouping of Naboo guards held off pursuing clones, both managed to escape the planet aboard the yacht. In other parts of the temple, a group of younglings were busy in a training session under Jedi Master Minas Velti, only for several clones to storm the room and try to kill at present. Velti cut down the clones and ushered her younglings out, where they encountered one more clone battling Jedi. On one of the temple's internal bridges, Velti was fatally shot in the stomach, but was managed to cut down all the nearby clones before failing and giving in. Vader also confronted Sindralig, the temple's battle master and one of the most powerful masters in the temple. After murdering 2 of Dreylig's trainees, Ben and Wei Malaru, the Sith entered a duel with Dreylag. The veteran Jedi fought hard, but ultimately fell to Darth Vader's blade. As the fighting began to die down, Darth Sidious arrived at the temple to check on Vader's progress. Vader knelt before his master to be congratulated by the Dark Lord, and said to go to bring peace to the Galactic Empire. In the aftermath of the temple attack, Vader returned to his wife at her apartment. At the time, Padme was unaware that her husband had adopted a new identity, and therefore believed that he was still Anakin Skywalker. At this point, he was still fluctuating between light and dark anyway. Padme's confusion about the attack on the Jedi Temple was replaced by disbelief when Darth Vader accused the Jedi of committing treason of rebellion. Additionally, Vader revealed that he witnessed Mace Windu's attempt to assassinate the Supreme Chancellor. He disowned his ties to the Jedi Order and declared his allegiance to Chancellor Palpatine, the Galactic Senate, and Padme. Vader left his wife on Coruscant to execute the next mission for his master, but before leaving, he told Padme that his destination was Mustafar, where the Separatist leaders were hiding. Following the raid, two survivors of Order 66, Masters Yoda and Obi-Wan, received the message ordering all Jedi to return to the temple, and immediately recognized it as a trap. Since the emergency Senate session would make it easier to enter the temple, the two Jedi Masters returned during the meeting to take advantage of it. They found the temple completely destroyed, fires still burning, and bodies from both sides of the conflict strewn through the halls. Coming across a group of murdered younglings, Yoda examined the body of one Padawan and concluded that he had been slain by a lightsaber, a notion that Obi-Wan could not believe. After fighting his way through their former allies alongside Yoda, Obi-Wan was able to enter the beacon room, where Obi-Wan reconfigured the beacon to warn Jedi away, instead of calling them to the temple, which was an idea inspired by a question from the youngling Caleb Doom earlier in the Clone Wars. Doom himself had survived the initial purge, and had been on his way to Coruscant due to the false message, but received Obi-Wan's warning through his holocron as he was spotted by Imperial ARC-170 starfighters. Doom was able to escape the Imperial ships, and he ultimately went on to change his name to Kanan Jarrus. Jarrus eventually became an important member of the early Rebel Alliance, and even trained his own Jedi Padawan, Ezra Bridger. After successfully altering the beacon, Obi-Wan assessed the security hologram in an attempt to discover who the lightsaber wielder that led to the massacre was, witnessing it recording Vader killing Cinderella and his Padawans before conferring with Sidious. Obi-Wan was shocked by the revelation that Anakin, his former Padawan, had fallen to the dark side and massacred his fellow Jedi. In order to find him, he went to Padme, who had been watching the Jedi Temple burn from far away, and stowed away in secret on her ship when she went to confront her husband on Mustafar. This led to the duel between both Obi-Wan and Anakin. Before her murder at Darth Vader's hand, Shaak Ti managed to record a message in the hologram, urging any future readers to carry on the order and not let the Jedi die in vain. This holocron would end up in the collection of Gracchus, a Creme Hutt Lord, and the message witnessed by Anakin's son, Luke Skywalker. So what'd you guys think of Vader's full raid on the Jedi Temple? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.